Next up, it's time for something very different on four-wheel drive TV. How about some amazing nitro-powered buggies? We're here with Nick Romano from RC Garage. Now, Nick, this is a wild event. What can you tell us about it, please?
Basically, it's an event run by MORC, Melbourne Off-Road Radio Control Car Club. The event's called the RC Garage Judgment Night. Something a little bit different. We've got 70-odd drivers from basically all around Australia, mainly Victoria. It's nitro off-road at its finest. Not just buggies, there's truggies and monster trucks. They're basically nitro-powered, two-stroke engines. Most of the radios these days are 2.4 gigahertz rather than the old FM or AM radios. Basically, the engine runs at around 40,000 RPMs, run on approximately 25% nitro methanol.
How much work goes into setting them up to be race-ready?
Days, really. If you've got it set up already, once you're set up, you can pretty much just tweak it each week. It takes a couple of days, really, just to get it right. You can start from around $500. The pro guys are spending around $2,000 or more.
The suspension and tyres differ between the classes and differ between the terrains?
Not necessarily between classes, but definitely the terrains. It can change during the day as well. The track conditions can change dramatically. We use different tyres in the morning compared to afternoons. We're going to see tonight, actually, because we're running at night as well. So I imagine the tyre choice will change dramatically.
Nick, thanks to the boys at RC Garage, it is now time for more of the nitro buggies. Now, the RC Garage Judgment Day is a huge event. How far have people come to be here?
Northern Territory, Sydney, WA, South Australia, all over Victoria as well. And the format's obviously helped with that too, because it's something unique. We'll be racing at night, where no one's had the opportunity to do that in Victoria, really.
What can you tell us about the layout of the track?
Well, it's actually a brand new track. We've just finished building it. Basically got up to this standard. The guys have done a fantastic job of getting it all ready. It's a track design that we borrowed from overseas and sort of just created our own differences onto it. And yeah, we think it's a great track. It's nice and wide. It's wider than most tracks. Nice and long. Pretty much going to be a world-class track when we're finished with it.
And the aim when you're building a track is to have lots of tight turns and plenty of jumps?
Yeah, you've got to have a good combination of nice sweeping turns and jumps, bumps, ruts, tabletops, berms, a bit of everything really. It's pretty fast racing, so you really want to cover the whole gamut.
Talking about fast, what sort of speeds are these buggies, truggies and monster trucks reaching?
Most of them are capable of around 80 k's.
What's the trick to driving these buggies and keeping them under control?
Patience and skill. Lots and lots of practice.
What can you tell us about the rolling start of the vehicles for each heat?
Basically, we're doing a little bit different than we normally would. We're doing one car at a time that will take off, and then we have a transponder on each vehicle, and that runs over a loop and it picks up your time. So the rolling start just sort of stops them all from crashing in the first corner, and this way you get them sort of spread out a bit, and then it goes by your lap times.
And Nick, you've got a fantastic platform for the drivers to view from?
Yes, we're lucky enough to have Toll give us this 24-foot truck that we see behind me. And basically, they've brought it off their own bat and brought it here and set it up for us, made some nice stairs for us to use, put a railing up for us, and then we've also got the lights from Highlight. They've donated their time and equipment, and we're also lucky enough to have Landtrack as a sponsor who've built this fantastic track for us. Couldn't tell you how much soil they've brought in, but basically they've brought in enough soil to the tune of $250,000, so we really appreciate their input. Obviously, when you just don't get that kind of help from anybody really, and those guys have just been fantastic, so we can't thank them enough. Thanks to Mark and everyone else who's involved with that. There's been heaps of people involved, and we really appreciate that as well.
What can you tell us about the main differences between each of the three different classes?
Okay, well basically there's buggies, smaller, more agile, narrow chassis, probably one of the quickest of the three. And then there's monster trucks, which are just the big block engines. They're a larger size engine, usually 2 or 3 speed. Some have reverse, whatnot. Big massive tyres, really oversized, so they can be a bit sluggish and whatnot. And then you have something in between, it's called a truggy, so that's a bit of a crossover between a truck and a buggy. All the suspension is silicone oil filled. Just a coilover spring. You use different size pistons, just as you would on a real car, to regulate the dampening effect of it, different spring rates. It all comes into play.
And they are actually four-wheel drive vehicles?
Yep, every car here is four-wheel drive.
Let's now check out the final instalment on those awesome nitro buggies. Can you tell us about the layout of the day? I believe there's heats going into finals later tonight.
Yeah, we've had 3 heats, and then we're going to have something called a shootout. It's basically you've got 3 minutes to produce your fastest lap, and then that'll set your grid positions for the final. And the final's basically 35 minutes long for the A mains and 22 for the B mains.
How much planning has gone into this event?
Months and months and months of hard work by a good bunch of people that have really picked up the ball and ran with it. I'd say there's probably about 12 people that have helped create this event, or more in general, but 12 really hard workers that have done a hell of a lot of work to get this track ready as well as get the event ready.
Far from the concept of simple toys, the guys out here take it very seriously. I noticed a lot of pit crews working pretty hard on the trucks in between the heats.
Absolutely, yeah. There's definitely a lot of hard work in. A lot of people have teams, different sponsors as well, of course. Yeah, the teams are pretty well set up. We've got everything from the marquees that you see around us. Most of them are supplied by Canopy Outdoor. They're one of our sponsors as well, who have contributed the orange one and the red one you see behind us, as well as an entry prize just for being here. You've got other people here that have attached an awning to their vehicle. Other people bring tents.
From the help of RC Garage, yourself and Adam have put in a big effort to make this event happen. What other sponsors would you like to thank for this event?
Definitely Nitro X, Model Engines, donated a fantastic little buggy to give away as a prize. I've got Grix Eyewear, have chipped in, Hearns Hobbies, Max Hobby Place, Plague Hobbies. There's a hell of a lot of shops that have chipped in to make it this event that it is and offer these fantastic prizes and even money. There's also the Hankook Drift Fest. A whole lot of people have really kicked in to make it something really unique and something we can all enjoy.
Viewers of ours who are watching this, what would you say to them? Where do they get started?
You can buy something really cheap and you'll end up buying something better, or you can go in halfway and buy something quite decent, and that'll give you a better edge because you won't be going back for parts all the time. You'll enjoy it more if you buy something decent rather than the toys that you find on eBay or your local toy shop. It's just go to a hobby shop, go to a meet, go to a club, anything like that. Talk to others who are doing the same thing already. Yeah, see what you like and have a go.
If people are after more information on morrcc, how can they find that, please?
Let's go to morrcc.com. That's the Mork website. From there you'll find plenty of information about the club, its club's history.
Nick Romano from RC Garage and the Melbourne Off-Road Racing Club, thank you very much for inviting 4 Wheel Drive TV down here for the event.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Cheers.